Hello and welcome to an amazing podcast. This is D. Dieburn.
And this is Modi. Man, I wanted to make a Harry Potter reference.
Modi Muscleblood.
I feel like I'm never ever once going to remember to come up with a nickname. Matt, save me, please.
This is Matthew Heartburn.
Nice, very nice.
Yes, epic. And we are reviewing / giving our first impressions of Mashle, Magic, and Muscle. What did you guys think of the first 2 episodes?
I thought this is just, I loved it. This is peak shonen for me. This is everything that it's supposed to be.
Yes.
It's great. It's perfect, actually, I might even say.
Yes.
Matt, what did you think?
Seeing the positive reactions from you two, I feel like I won't be very welcome here on today's podcast.
All right, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you rather exist in this world or Harry Potter?
One of them is British, so I don't want to live. I don't want to live in a world where there's a thing called Britain. I don't want to live there. Thank God it's not real.
Wise.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I can go into it more, but I guess
honestly,
we'll go into it more.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just gonna say you liking something is basically a 10 out of 10 by anime nerd standards. So just give you guys some background. Imagine if the main character of One Punch Man enrolled in Hogwarts. The whole premise of it is you have this one guy who has no magical power enrolling in, who's just Giga Chad, 24/7, do you lift bro, working out nonstop, going to like nerdy wizard school, do nerdy magic stuff, and it has the vibes of Mob Psycho 100, One Punch Man, and Black Clover in all the right ways. Like, for me, I really love this show because it takes complaints I've had for Black Clover and My Hero Academia, solves them, and continues moving forward. So to give you a big background, my biggest issue with Black Clover is the main character was a human caps lock who I just could not get behind. He's super stoic, super straightforward, and despite being like very stone-faced, he definitely has a very clear, unique personality for me. And my biggest issue with My Hero Academia was it wanted to have like this super bright, super fun world, but at the exact same time have all this dark social commentary 2/3 through the story. But with this, it is very straight up with the fact that this is a very colorful, bright world, but it does have a lot of dark bullshit to it. There's a lot of really effed up parts of this world, and it's very obvious, and it is very upfront with that, and I'm really happy it does that.
Deku had no excuse. He had no excuse. Oh, I don't have powers. I can't be All Might. If you fucking worked out, maybe, no boy. Yeah, no, you'll not only do you not have any powers, but you're like, you could probably just blow away from the wind, dude.
See, that's the other thing I like about this. Like, with My Hero Academia and, like, Black Clover, it was like, oh, man, I don't have powers. It has this whole, like, underdog story, but it throws it away at the first episode. This, like, introduces that, and it follows through with it, and I love it. I mean, they clearly don't make him an underdog, but I'm happy they have, like, this whole, like, outsider in the society rises to the top his own way, not by like dealing with like this society's rules.
Do you think it's possible that like because you know how in Black Clover Asta like at first thought he didn't have magic, and then it turned out that he did have magic, and it was just the power to negate other people's magic, right? Do you think it's going to be something like that with this guy with Mash?
I hope not. Me
too.
I hope they go the One Punch Man route where they stay true to the original premise and they just explain it away in a way that makes sense. But I like the idea of like this is just a guy who just worked out like crazy all of his life, and
Same.
he's just like through hard work and perseverance just outclasses everyone.
Yep. 10,000 push-ups, 10,000 sit-ups, and 10K
Yep,
every day.
and 10 cream puffs every lunch.
10 cream puffs. Yep.
What is up with this show's obsession with the cream puffs thing? Like, it was a one-off, like, plot point and joke. The intro sequence has, like, a decent amount of focus on the cream puffs. The entire outro sequence is all about it. They're all singing about it. Every plot point, he always has one. I get it. This is what this character, like, has, but I'm just confused as to why the show is so obsessed with this concept. Is it, like, did they think it was super funny and they had to bring it back whenever they could, or...
Listen, man. If you find your favorite food, it's with you for life, okay? Like, I love Snapple tea, and if you ever see me at work, I always have one in my hand. And, like, have you ever had a cream puff, okay? They're pretty magical, okay? They're pretty great.
This is the first time I hear about you liking Snapple tea a lot, and I think that's the difference, is that you don't need to remind me that you love Snapple tea. You don't go into your animations, right, and make Snapple tea man.
Well, clearly I need to if you haven't noticed it.
It's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's not a serious criticism.
Honestly, I kind of would have preferred... I do kind of see where you're coming from. I would have liked it a lot better if it wasn't, like, super in your face. Because I like it when shows have characters who just have, like, their little quirks that aren't in your face, but they still exist just to give a little bit of flavor and uniqueness to the character. But... I don't know. I like the idea of like this super strong guy who's just obsessed with this one random thing.
Yeah, me too. I like it. But I can see how it can get annoying very fast, especially if you're not used to that kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, I love his relationship with his dad. Like, I think this is my favorite parent-child relationship in an anime, easily.
Favorite? You mean only?
I'm glad they didn't kill him off in the first episode.
They could have easily Uncle Bend him so hard. And, like, see, it's weird, because, like, I knew they were going to go with the whole adopted thing, and I was kind of rolling my eyes a little bit, but honestly, I love, like, their relationship is so good. Like, the whole fact that, like, they both need each other, and they both provided each other, like, something really important to one another is just so wholesome. And the fact that, like, they honestly know how, like, far to push each other. Like, whenever he messes up, he always does, like, the 2-second long rant, but he just immediately knows, like, oh man, my son's really sorry. He's so earnest. He's a good kid. I'm just gonna, like, lay off for a little bit.
That's just him being a pushover. Like, the kid breaks the door every single day.
And constantly forgets, like, he doesn't know where to push or pull his own door. Also, that's the other thing I kind of like. Like, I always hated the whole overpowered main character trope with a passion. But I like how they fixed it by having him, like, having the weakness of being, like, not only dumb, but uniquely dumb.
I don't think he's dumb. I actually think he's pretty smart. But, like, I think he just has, like, quirks, like, where he's dumb about, like, certain things, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just want my cream puff. Oh, how do you open the door? You know, like, he has, like, certain
social
things
cues.
that he's, like, dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You know what it is? They don't make him, like... It feels like they don't try to make him really cool or anything. It doesn't feel like escapism.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell,
definitely.
like, he is, like, he has a lot of oddities to him.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Even his haircut.
Yeah.
That's not a main character haircut.
Like I said, it has such Mob Psycho. It feels like a fun version of Mob Psycho, where Mob Psycho has a lot of heart and a lot of earnestness to it. This definitely feels like it isn't vapid, but it does want to just show you a good time and just wants to be comforting to you.
But you know the thing, it's weird. This world is literally it's the world where Voldemort won. Because if you think about what Voldemort's goal was,
Oh, wait,
it was
that's a good
literally
point.
to wipe out all the non-magical people and to wipe out all the weak magical people and just have like a super race, right?
Yep.
And this is literally the world where that happened.
Again, like, that's what I like, because, like, it could have just like had that in the background, or it could it could have easily just not acknowledged it, but it's upfront with how fucked up this world is, and I love it.
Yeah.
I don't love like
also,
the genocide, but I'm happy that like I'm happy that it's able to acknowledge that this happy world isn't as great as it seems.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it doesn't actually seem that happy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, like it's bright and everything, but yeah, I see what you're saying. But also, something else I noticed is that in Harry Potter, Harry's the only one with the scar, and like that's a big deal, right?
Everyone has
but
a
in
scar,
this,
yeah.
everyone else has a scar, and like him not having a scar is a big deal. That's pretty funny.
How much you want to bet the person who made this has read Harry Potter?
They had to have. Like, there's too much. The castle literally is Hogwarts. Like, it just looks like Hogwarts.
We have a Snape. We have a Dumbledore.
We have Slytherin. We have the Hufflepuffs.
Also, as an inverse to Harry Potter, the sort of parent figure here is like actually super supportive.
Yeah,
and like
true.
Nice.
Oh my god. I wish. See, I love the whole opening gag of them, like, of the second episode of them, like, disguising themselves as trees and trying to, like, blend in.
I was wondering what the hell is this guy doing here? He tried to kill them last episode, but I actually kind of love that he's like a part of the crew now, I guess.
I know I'm jumping forward, but like, I really wish that was just an ongoing gag for the series. Like, every time you like see the background, you just see like him and his dad like just awkwardly hiding in the background, like a Where's Waldo thing. Like, they're in, like, the hallway, and you just see them, like, trying to, like, pull the whole, oh, hello, fellow kids. Or, like, they're in, like, shop class, and they're just, like, pretending to be boards or something like that. And no one notices them.
I also like how quickly they turned, what's the dude's name? Brad Coleman, the police head guy.
Gestapo.
They turned him from like this threatening guy who wants to kill them to like just comedic relief, which is good. I think he's good comedic relief. I like him.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I love the whole sequence of him just like casually dodging all of his like key blasts. Although I kind of wish they went way more over the top with it. Like, after he like does like a whole soccer routine with it. Like, you see another scene where he, like, throws one at him, he catches it, and he's, like, nursing as a child. He throws another one at it, he's reading a bedtime story. He catches a third one, and he's, like, sending it off to college.
I think that could have worked, but I'm also wondering if it would also be funny if, like, he got one shot in, and he just, like, ran up to him and broke his, like, wand in half or something.
I'm waiting for a scene where he just beats a dude into submission with a magic wand. This is my sleep spell. Boom.
I also just generally I like the premise of this. I think the premise is very good. Mm-hmm. Usually, in this type of story, the premise of like the main character wanting to be the best or one, whatever it is kind of. I mean, I'm not gonna say shallow, but it doesn't have as good of a reason as this one does. This one has he has a good motivation. I like that.
Right. It's not just like, I want to be the main character because I'm the main character.
Yeah, exactly. And I also like you mentioned this before, is the fact that it's just, even though he's not an underdog, like the setup is like such an underdog setup because just because he's at a disadvantage, right? So it's just gonna be so fun seeing how he it's already been fun in just the first 2 episodes, seeing how he like gets past all the magic obstacles.
I think the other thing that I'm kind of like that like I'm able to get the overpowered main character a pass is it definitely feels like it plays into the world too. Like, it feels like he's the comeuppance or the karma for this society that has just like shit on like non-magic users for its entire history. It feels like there's something very like, it feels very poetic that the strongest being in this world is the affront to it. He's the opposite thing. He's the opposite to this entire world, kind of. Yeah,
and it seems like what's his name? Wahlberg sees that. Wahlberg's interesting. I mean, probably not. He's probably not interesting. He's probably just gonna be the typical old guy character who like sees the good and the bad and all that. But like, either way, I like him. What would be really cool if he turned out to be evil, That would be great, but yeah, we'll see.
Honestly, my other favorite thing about I love that scene with him because it quickly establishes that he's really strong, but he's not like super special. It gives you the possibility of him being a big fish in a tiny pool kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm happy about that because it could easily go into like the whole One Punch Man territory, and I really hope it doesn't go that route.
Same. What did you think about so like that part when the headmaster conjured up that curse thing and was about to kill his grandpa? I feel like that was supposed to look intimidating, but it didn't really feel like it. Like, if there's one thing I'll say about the series that I don't like, it's like the art, or maybe it has more to do with the animation. But I feel like it's both. I don't really like the art style or the animation.
To me, it looks kind of generic. Like, sort of very typical fantasy anime, especially for something that's like, I feel like is taking a sort of a rip on Harry Potter. I kind of would prefer it not be like the style to be sort of generic anime fantasy sort of stuff. But whatever, I guess.
I think the fact that it is more generic kind of does help with the riff on it, because I feel like if you had like a very like counter establishment style to it, it would take you out of the whole like, oh, this is a Harry Potter parody kind of thing.
I think that's my biggest sort of gripe with the show is me wanting it to be something that it's not a lot. And like I can't hold that against it, because honestly I would love a show that's just like fully ripping into Harry Potter and criticizing it. But I mean, I guess from the 2 episodes I've seen, I've not like seen enough of it to like make a like enough of a big critique on it, or like solidify my thoughts on it. I am curious, since you've seen the next 2 episodes, D, the other side characters that Modi and I have been yet to introduce to, I'm a bit worried that they'll also be generic anime friends. Because from the like intro sequence, they kind of looked like that.
The silver-haired character is the silver-haired guy with the 2 lines on his face. Is like, I think they get more interesting as they go along. And I think what saves the show is, yeah, you have like, they are very typical anime characters, but they do put a lot into like making them larger than life. Like, there's a lot of energy and a lot of like passion into the, like, that feels like it's going into like these characters and their characterization that I think saves them. They don't feel like, oh, I need a girl character, here's the girl character. They don't feel obligatory.
That's the vibe I got from the girl character, though.
Yeah, no.
Was we have a girl character, so obviously she has to have a crush on the main dude, and is also like fails at everything she does.
Like, whenever I see her, I always hear like the whole like, "Oh, I'm the girl" voice line coming out for every time like she opens her mouth. The other, like, the second 2 characters that get introduced are pretty good, but aside from that, like, yeah, it's...
What it made sense to me is he goes to this school, right? And no one wants to be friends with him, like all the elitist people or whatever. So he has to like hang out with essentially all the losers of the school. Like either people who aren't like good at magic or like are outcasted for some other dumb reason.
That's probably what's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the girl, for starters, is like already an outcast because she's right. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess I'd prefer to like be shown this kind of stuff. Like, for example, going to Harry Potter, like the Weasleys are shown to be like pretty poor because you like go to their house and it's like all in this like shambled stuff. He can't afford any of the food, so like Harry Potter comes along and like buys him like all the food on the cart and stuff like that. Yeah,
I definitely would say that she has the show, like the tell don't show thing going for her.
Yeah,
and I think like everyone, like her, the Ron Weasley pastiche, and have that same issue, but I think the red-haired character and the silver-haired, like obvious rival character, have it a little bit better off.
Okay, I guess I'll see when I meet them.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's my biggest worry.
Does that mean you're going to continue?
I mean, if we decide to continue this,
Oh, okay, I see.
but theoretically, right? I don't have enough info, I think, to be like whether or not I think it's good or not.
Yeah, because again, they do feel the characters in this feel trope like I wouldn't call them tropes, but I would call them archetypes.
God, if you're saying that, then it must be so much more worse than it is.
That's funny. But I have a question. Do you get early 2000s vibes from this? Like Zatch Bell, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX? That's how I feel about this.
I'm getting late 2000s vibes from it. Because the reason I say that is because I see so much. Because like with shonen anime, it always builds on it. It builds on what's come before it, and I see too much of like My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, and Black Clover in it for me to be able to say it's like
Oh,
early
yeah.
2000s.
I guess more so in terms of aesthetic.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah, aesthetics, yes.
Aesthetic and just like the feel of it. I don't know how to explain it. Story wise, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
So.
Like it has such a it has a incredibly bright color scheme that a lot of like modern like shonen don't really have as much. Like you said, like you look at Zash Bell, Mar, One Piece. A lot of the shows from back then definitely had a very saturated color scheme. But if you look at like Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, Demon Slayer, the saturation is definitely toned down a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more saturation.
I agree.
Way more saturation.
Damn right. I want to see 100 colors. I want my anime to look like Neon Fever Dreams. Okay.
I think like having the sort of ultra saturation can really help with sell the almost like fakeness of the world around it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's just some parts of the show, like the more sort of generic parts of the show, I find like kind of weigh it down a bit for me. Whereas the most interesting aspect of it is the concept. I'm just iffy about the execution here and there.
Honestly, one thing that I'm kind of shaky on too is just the magic system, because it's supposed to be like magic school where you're learning how to do magic stuff, but it doesn't like I feel like I don't really understand how the magic in this world works, or if it has any like hardcore rules.
That's because you've never read or watched Harry Potter.
Fair enough.
Actually, like unironically, because like that, it's pretty much exactly the Harry Potter system.
I guess the other thing is like the whole magic system isn't the important thing of the show. The whole point of the show is just to see Mash like this dude without superpowers, air quotes, just trouncing all of the magic nerds, I guess.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat that?
I was gonna say like I don't think this isn't a show like Hunter x Hunter or Naruto where the whole like journey of the show is like mastering the magic system. The whole point of the show is just like it's a very character focused show, so having a really detailed magic system probably wouldn't really matter in the long run.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, go on. You go on.
I was also gonna say that like, because I'm also having a hard time imagining how the battles are gonna be interesting when it's like when it's just like wands, right? Like even Harry Potter, that's one thing. It's different. It's not like a shonen battle series, you know. Even that scene in episode 1 when there was him versus Brad, that was like funny, right? And I feel like I don't know how you could make that serious. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, what are you gonna say, Matt?
Okay.
Oh no, I was gonna say I agree. I don't think the magic is really the focus. I wouldn't mind an anime that's more focused on like systemic issues in the world. I am actually curious about what they're going to end up doing for the combat system. If they were going to have him face an enemy that's like way like more powerful than him, and I think that, like you could use stuff like that to show how screwed up the whole like magic stuff is, or how people are using it to like oppress other people. Because I feel like a lot of this world does hinge on you have a bunch of these magic people and they're really bad. And I feel like at some point we might need to get that like could be shown that a little bit.
Have it fully realized.
Yeah.
Yep, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
What's up with every school anime or every anime in school having some kind of like currency system regarding the rewards?
Well, this is the thing, dude. This is the thing. The grading
Even Harry
system
Potter had
sucks.
Yeah, Harry Potter had it too. It's in like every anime that has a school in it. I'm just
Well,
noticing.
okay, I'll tell you why. It's
Yeah.
because these series are fundamentally battle series that rely on it's like a video game. Rely on fighting people, ranking up, and they're a lot more fun when you can visibly like measure people's ranks with numbers. So that kind of thing is like crack for shonen. So
Yeah.
that's why they do
Okay,
it.
fair enough.
On top of, like you said, Moni said, how it's a good visual indicator of progress. Since this is school, and school is all about like grading and everything, the random icons is a lot easier to sort of display or build or sort of illustrate than like, oh man, you got a 10 out of 10 on your current class, or like you passed your quiz, that was 1% of your grade, which means you're 1.001 closer to being a ranked student, kind of thing.
Okay. Again, not really a critique. It's just a thing I noticed, and you guys answered pretty well. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. I don't think I have much more to say. One thing I thought was funny was the scene where they're just talking about how weird he is, and he's just sitting there saying like God is dead. I don't know if you remember that.
Wait, when was that?
It was in episode 2. It was when he was talking with Finn. I think it was when he was talking with Finn, and he was getting yelled at by someone. Oh yeah. I think he was
Right.
getting yelled at by someone, and they're like, oh yeah, he was getting scolded by the teacher. Now I remember. He was getting scolded by the teacher because they were supposed to open the locks, but he just broke his.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the teacher was scolding him, and she was like, what's wrong with you? Like, she was asking him like questions. He was just answering them all deadpan, and then one of the questions he answered was, and he said, "God is dead." I just thought that was really funny.
I swear to God, this show is going to have such a good, like, this show could have such I see this show having an amazing dub, because this feels like the kind of thing like the voice actors would have a lot of fun just messing around with.
Oh, there's not a dub yet?
Not yet. I'm looking forward. I'm really happy about that, because I feel like shows that don't get simul-dubbed have way better translations than shows that do.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, maybe you're right about that.
Makes sense.
Mob Psycho's like dub is so amazing, by the way. At least when it was being like the more time they put into it, the better it gets. And the same thing with like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure dub. Whenever there's like a year, the ones where there was like a year break between the sub and the dub was always amazing.
Cool. So yeah, this yeah, and you're right too. This script seems like you could have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for me. What are you guys' final ratings?
So for me, okay, first I'll say I've been sleeping on this series, man. I've really, and I think when I think about it, the reason I have, because even back when it was just a manga, I had seen all the hype around it, but I never ever like paid it much attention at all, because the art style itself, I was just like, this, I don't know what it was, but it just felt like I wouldn't like the series. I guess I just based that off the art. But man, it's so good. And I would probably give the 8.5 out of.
I agree. I give this a solid 8.5. I think the highlights of it is definitely the world, the characters, and I really like the humor of it. If I had to take some points away, I would say that some of the characters, i.e. a lot of the classmates, can seem a little flat, but I think that alleviates it by the characters being very large in life and having a lot of passion put behind them. I think my biggest issue with it is I have a slight bias against the whole overpowered protagonist. I don't feel like much tension or urgency is in the show. But aside from that, it's overall a really good show, and I'm enjoying watching it.
All right. All all the fans of this show, put your hands over your ears for a bit. I honestly don't know really how to feel about it yet, because right now there's a lot of stuff that I think is cool, but also stuff that I'm like worried about, and I guess it's going to depend on like what the show decides to do afterwards. That's really going to like change my rating on it. But for right now, I'm going to go for a 5 out of 10. Because that's I really don't know if I like or dislike this show. Like
I have a high. I'm so sure it'll only go down. Because I feel like this is how it is. This is how it is. Because like the type of stuff he's worried about now. Think about it, D. Whenever Matt has been worried about something at the beginning of a series, has it ever panned out well?
It's gotten close. Try against Stampede had moments where it almost got there.
It never happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and this is also, I think I can officially say now. I mean, I've always kind of known in the back of my mind, but I can officially say there's no way Matt will ever like shonen, because if you don't like this, it's just not possible. You can't like it. You can't like the genre, you know.
Okay, you know what? There's there's a moment in my mind that I can't stop picturing. There's going to be a day where we just decide to like review Demon Slayer. And that's going to be the thing where Matt's just like, yes, this is my show. I like it's going to have some like there's going to be some really weird multi-dimensional chess like mental gymnastics for this. Like I don't know, like Matt, you might have like one of your favorite things might be like firebending katanas or something. And that's just going to be your one niche. But I just can't. I keep picturing that being the one show that just wins you over for shonen.
Honestly, very well could be. Trigun almost got me with all the sort of Star Wars sci-fi cowboy stuff.
Oh my god!
At first, it almost got me with it, but it wasn't enough.
Wait, have you never seen Cowboy Bebop?
I need to finish it because I started the first 2 episodes and I liked it so far. I just for some reason like took a break from it and never got back to it.
Oh, okay.
But I need to properly finish
like
that.
Yeah. You're the type that likes. I feel like you like all the anime that isn't an anime. If that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. He's pretty much like the American version of Miyazaki. You know.
Yeah. He's a Mirazaki.
Mirazaki. Honestly, I almost feel like I need to rewatch the show and just try to like tune out my own like thoughts and prejudices, and just let the show be itself, because I feel like my biggest problem with watching some of these is I get really excited about what it could be, and I don't like appreciate enough of like what it is.
I'll say this: I think if you watch it with the mindset, if you go into this with the expectation that this is a anime Harry Potter parody and not like a serious show about like serious social commentary or anything, I think you'll probably go up to like a 7 out of 10 for you.
That's the thing, though. I desperately want this to be a super like hard like Harry Potter comedy thing where they're trying to like rip it to shreds and be like, yeah, this is dumb. You have a dumb sorting hat. Your whole like housing system is dumb. Doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, let's all put all like the bad guys into one house because yeah, sure, that's good for like learning.
Ambitious, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But no, don't do that. Don't go into it with the expectation, because it's definitely not going to be that. I can guarantee you.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I think when it comes to these shows, I need to learn to just kind of, what is this show trying to be? What is it trying to achieve? And then maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more. What did you guys think about? Are you planning on continuing this, or?
I'm not sure. Depends when summer season starts, and depends how you guys feel about. If you want to continue this, I'm totally good with continuing this because I like it. But if you guys have other stuff that you also want to watch, then I'm fine with doing that too. Yeah, so that's pretty. If
you guys want to continue, I'm already planning on watching the season through. So if you guys want to keep watching, I'm really down with that.
Yeah, I'm down to keep watching it.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I guess we can get to this.
Okay. By the way, that is a glowing recommendation from Matt. Everyone.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, unchuck your
willing
ears.
to keep watching it.
Oh, yeah. That's so true. That's a good point.
No, I'm okay. I'm willing to finish Bleach off. Okay, that's how you know I'm going to
You know
watch
what?
whatever you give to me.
You know
To
what?
be
You're
fair,
right.
to be fair, I feel like we peer pressured you into that.
No, I was actually
Yeah.
excited, and I'm glad that I did it because I think it was really fun.
You see, that's the strat. You see, you lower his standards enough, and then he'll be able to watch anything.
See, this is the thing. We keep making him watch like the solid shonen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make him watch like the complete trash. We need to have him like watch Magical Girl Destroyer.
Insert the
Yeah.
clip of Denji swallowing the vomit and being like, "Yeah, I'll eat whatever."
All right.
All right.
So that's been our first impressions, or I guess I won't call it first impressions. I guess it's been our review for episodes 1 and 2 of
1 and 2.
Mashle Magic. What's the LE part in Mashle? I don't know where that comes from. Anyway, of Mashle Magic and Muscles. Thanks for watching, and next week for the next few episodes. I don't know how many. We'll decide that later.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye.